Hey y'all, today we are setting up our May daily pages. So the first thing I do is I just write out all the days. I'm just going to go to Sunday because that's whenever I usually redo all of this. So we're going to set this up, and I have a few updates in my monthly. I was thinking that I might put in my garden, and I decided to go ahead and wait, so that will probably get pushed off onto May as well. And also, we had a really funny story time about the waterman, and I guess he's out of jail because I seen him today. So that was good. I guess maybe we are not without a waterman. So that was a pretty funny story if y'all want to check out our monthlies. And something else that I do on Sundays is I do the weekly home blessing hour. We will come back to that here in a little bit, but we will go to the first day here. And I guess before we start the dailies, I kind of do something different to help me remember all the things that I need to do during the month. I used to put them in the calendar section of my monthly setup, but that doesn't work for me. So I now use that section for my garden planting calendar, and that works great. So what I do is at the very top up here is I write the things that I need to get done for the month. So like for example, on the 2nd, I need to pay the bills. Since that's a Thursday, I also need to take the trash out and reschedule that. That helps me remember to add it on to next week. So I add that in. That has really helped me a lot just to put that in there. And then on the 3rd, I need to put the orders in. I like to do that about once a month, and you can save on shipping if you can put in a big enough order to where you don't have to pay that. As long as it's so much, you're good. And then on the 6th, I have my measurements, and I really don't have a whole lot going on this month, so this is really simple. I'm really busy with the garden usually, so this is a big month for that. We'll be putting in the garden and having to transition those plants and take care of them a lot. And then also on the last day, I do the review and reflection that we set up in the monthly. So I do that. And also I make a homemade vinegar, and I need to get that all sorted as well. So that's what I do here. And then what this is kind of like my monthly dates and stuff that I need to remember. And then over here, I kind of write like my weekly to do things that I need to remember. So just like standard things that probably is like a daily thing that I need to do is I need to keep on top of dehydrating the herbs. So we have herbs in the garden, and also just like wild edible herbs that I need to be sure and harvest and get taken care of and all of that, because I am low on some of that, so I need to do that. Other things I was wanting to work on is my skincare. I am trying to do that. I tried that last night. I put castor oil on my face while I was doing dishes, and my skin did not like that. So I don't know what I'm going to end up doing for skincare, but that is not going to be the right one for me. Okay, so another thing I want to do is some dehydrator projects. I am trying to figure out what things do well being dehydrated versus frozen, because we do not have a lot of freezer space. So I'm working on trying different things, and surprisingly, a lot of things are working really well. So I need to do that. And then I have a few things like home things that we need to do, mostly like cooking type things. I need to be sure and make bread flour. I have a video sharing how to make that using only 2 ingredients. I also need to make tofu. I also have a video showing how to make that homemade. That's really fun and really easy. Something that I have really been wanting to do, and I had on my like 101 things I wanted to do this year, and it's so crazy because we're already into May. This year has flown by, so I really need to get started on those. So one of those things was to make homemade pot stickers or dumpling kind of things. I really want to do that, so I am going to put that on the list here, and hopefully we can get to that. Something else I really wanted to do was figure out how to make this chicken fajita seasoning. We just ran out of it, so I'm going to get some more, and we'll try and figure that out, and if we do, we'll share it with y'all. but it is pretty expensive, you know, just a small bottle, and it's like $4 now. And if I can figure out how to make it, that would be a big money saver. Something else I have always wanted to do, it's really simple. I don't know why I've never done this, but I want to just try it just to see if I like it, is to make homemade brown sugar. So I would like to try and do that as well. So that's mostly like my home things that I would like to get done this week. Also in the garden, we probably need to water. We'll just have to check the weather and see what's going on with that. I, of course, will need to weed. It is crazy with the weeds this time of year. Also, I need to fertilize. I have videos showing my homemade fertilizers, and I usually do that about twice a month. And then also, I'm going to be putting in a new in-ground bed, so I'm going to work on that. And let's see, I think the last thing is I need to be sure and tackle the fruit area. It really needs some cleaning up. I couldn't make a decision of what I wanted to do for sure with it, and it is really messy, so I'm just gonna have to deal with it the way it is. So that's basically what I do to kind of help me get prepared for my week. I've kind of got my month and my week right here. And then for my dailies, I generally do like my morning routine, and then I do like my afternoon routine. I just kind of abbreviate here. And of course, we got to make dinner. And then we also have the evening routine. Okay. And then that's what I do there for each day. So I guess we'll just go ahead and write all of that down here and get all these filled in, because that happens every day, and we'll get that filled in. So do y'all do anything like this where you kind of simplify it with your morning routine and afternoon routine and all of that? I found that it is really helpful to try and simplify things. Do a lot better with staying on top of things, and I like things to be really efficient. At least that's the way I am. And you can also, you know, add washi tape and stickers and whatever you like and make it really beautiful. But I find that things like that are really distracting to me, and it honestly is harder for me to keep on track. So I really just like it to keep it plain and simple and just as efficient as possible. Okay, so we do all of that. And another thing that I do is for my morning routine, I was really struggling with that. So I decided to build, also have this little flip out that has my workout routine here. And then I've got the flip out that has my morning routine. And then on the bottom, here I am going to add, since like one of my things I wanted to do this month was work on skincare, and I usually do that all that at night with my shower and everything. So I'm just going to move that down here and add that on. But like, here's all my things here that I need to remember. So since I didn't put my plants out, I got to be sure to be taking them out. I've got all the hummingbirds. There are so many coming in, and I'm super excited about that. But this is like the main things. And of course, I got my exercises and garden. That's where we do our weeding and all of that. So we do that. And for this day, I'll just do check marks like that whenever I accomplish this. But for these other days, what I decided to do that would work really well and has worked really well is just to make a little column here. It's basically just making a checkbox. And that has helped me so much. And if you wanted to break this up, you could break it up and put like your morning routine, your afternoon routine, and your evening routine all there. But this is what I was having trouble with, was my morning routine, because there's a lot to remember. So I just put it all there. And that has been working great for me. And I don't have to do that on Sunday because it's just, you know, it's on this side and I don't have to draw that. So the next thing I do is I go through and I look at all the things we need to do. So we'll just start here. So like the first thing we need to pay the bills. So we need to do that on this day. And then also I need to do the trash out and reschedule. So we have that. And then on the 3rd, that's when I'll put the orders in. And then on, I don't think we won't go to the 6th, but I'll just start it. And what I'll do on this next page is I'll just write like that on the 6th, I have my measurements, and on the 30th, I'll do my review and reflection, and any appointments or anything else that we have going on, they go there. And that'll be great. I'll have space if something comes up. And then I come over here and look at some of these things. So these things are going to probably be more daily type things that I need to be on top of, but like these things, they're not. So, and then also the gardening things, that kind of depends on the weather. So I'm not going to put that in. I'll just kind of keep that in mind of what I might need to get done. But these things, we can add them in. So like, for example, we need to do bread flour. We can make that. And then the next day we'll make tofu. And then let's see. I think I'll probably do the brown sugar on Friday because that'll be pretty easy. I'm just going to abbreviate here. So we'll do the brown sugar on Friday. It is super easy to make. And then Saturday, I think I'm going to try and attempt the homemade pot stickers. And I want to do this like completely homemade to make the like noodle stuff that goes over the top, the dumplings, whatever. I want to make all of that. So I want to try and figure that out. So we'll try and do that Saturday because we'll have a little bit more time. And then I think on Sunday, we'll try and make the chicken fajita seasoning there. Let's see. Yeah, seasoning. So we'll do that. And let's see, is there anything else? I'm trying to remember. I think that's everything there. So we've basically got all this, and we have space to write other things that come up and any other information. And then we also on Sunday, I do my weekly home blessing hour. So that's what this is. This is my version of the Fly Lady weekly home blessing hour. So I try and do this every single week. And the first thing I do is be sure and dust. I just use a feather duster and dust everything. I wash our bedding and also the throws in the living room. I do that. And then I clean the bar and the TV. The bars where I keep all of our plants. So while I'm cleaning that, I move all the plants off and I water them if they need that. So we'll water the plants. And also in the springtime, it's a really good idea to fertilize them. So I might end up doing some fertilizer with some of them. Some plants don't need that at all. It just depends on what they are, but I'm going to put that on because I think there's a few I want to do that with. I be sure and let's write this right here, dish drainer. So I take my dish drainer and I clean it and scrub it down really good and use cleaner on it. And I replace the towels underneath it and everything. I do the towels multiple times a week, but I for sure do it whenever I'm cleaning the dish drainer. And then I make several cleaners. These are my homemade cleaners that I make. I really need to get a video out on that because they are really awesome and work great. And then I move on to the bathroom and add toilet paper and refill the bottles. And I also do the soap too. So I need to do that. And then I vacuum, and I also clean the air conditioning filters while I have the vacuum out and do that. And then I mop and update the computer. Let's see. And it's got other updates I got to do too, so we'll write that down. And then let's see what else. Okay, then I move on to kind of my weekly reset. This is kind of where I sit down with my planner and get the next week filled out. So the first thing I do is figure out what type of recipes we want to do. And I have a video where I will show all of my meal ideas for May. That will probably be coming out later. And I will have that video out, and I'll usually choose from those or some family favorites or something like that. Depending upon the week, if we have a busy week, we may just choose easier meals that we already know how to cook that are super fast. And then I need to work on the grocery list. And since this is May and the next week I think the next Sunday is Mother's Day, if I'm not mistaken. So happy Mother's Day in advance, but I need to be sure and get the Mother's Day cards on there so we can get all that sorted and ready and it's not last minute. And then also need to shop. Sometimes I do the grocery pickup and sometimes I just go in the store and get it. It just depends. And then I move all of my files to the hard drive. This is more a YouTube thing, but you may have files that you need to move as well. And then I try and get my inbox as close to zero as possible. That way it's just not so overwhelming. And this is like my email inbox. And then I try and schedule out what videos I'm going to do for the week. And then also I have a few reoccurring uh, tasks that I need to put on for the week too. So like I'll just add that in usually here. A few reoccurring tasks that I have. And also another thing that I do is move task. So this means like if I have things I didn't get to, so say I didn't get to the tofu, for example, I will move that on to the following week and schedule that in. Okay, I think that's everything. Oh yes, I was going to show here. I will bring this over and I'll also write like the things that I still need to remember that happen on certain days. I will move that over onto this page. So review and reflection. And then I think also we had vinegar. So we had that. So all that on that day, and then I can have space to add to it if we have appointments or whatever. And then here I'll just write, whenever I come here on Sunday, I'll just write out the tasks that need to get done for the week. And that has really helped me a lot, and this is what's been working for me for quite some time. And I just use a really cheap notebook that has worked great for me as well. I go through about one notebook every 4 months or so, and it works out great because whenever I do these little flip outs, as with the seasons, all this changes, especially with gardening. So that really helps and works out great. So thank y'all all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we also set up a new join section if you'd like to check that out. I have a few members only videos there, and I will be adding to that, but most everything is free. I like to keep it that way. That way, everybody has a chance to see most everything. This is more of like we really support you and appreciate what you do. So if y'all would like to join, y'all can. And thank y'all all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Y'all take care, and we'll see you next time. Bye.